Deimos and I had a different perspective on what constituted ethical progress of our research. It worked. Soluble fear toxin caused hyper-aggression in subjects. Too potent. Adjustments needed.
No, Fenrir. This is perfect. Exactly what I wanted.
What are you doing?
Human subjects. The next frontier.
It's too early for human trials. They'll kill each other!
All right, chat. Watching the reveal for Operation Dread Factor. So we're here. It's gonna start.
It's a shame he has your formula. He doesn't. I made sure of that. But I know Deimos. And he's coming for Rainbow.
Okay. New season countdown. Okay.
Beep, 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 beep.
One sec, chat.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Operation Dread Factor. I'm Camille Salazar-Hadaway, here to unveil everything
What's on Napkin?
that's coming in
What's on King
year eight,
Elvis?
season
What?
2
Hey, thank you
of
for the Prime
Rainbow
sub, Woody.
Six
What's on Bartlett?
We've
What's on
got a new
Toxic? What's on
operator,
Christy? What's on Bob
new
on?
rework, and a lot
What's on
more to
Slayer?
cover.
What's on
But
Musk?
first, here's creative director Alexander Karpazis with an overview of the season and some roadmap updates.
Yeah, it's here. It's here.
Welcome to Operation Dread Factor. This is introducing a new operator, Fenrir, hailing from Sweden, who's joining the Red Hammer squad. He's bringing with him the idea of fear to the battlefield. This is
What's
a
on
mechanic
Diggsy?
that we've been
What's on
working
Elo?
on for a long time, and we finally made it work. And we're happy to introduce him to the rest of the operators. On top of this, we have a big, long overdue map rework for Consulate. We hope you enjoy it. And we're bringing much, much more. We're bringing balancing changes, quality of life changes, and accessibility changes to make the game that much more enjoyable to play, including permanent arcade being released this season for everyone to enjoy. As with last year, we want to be fully transparent with what we do with the roadmap and any changes that we make. And these changes are actually informed by you, your voice, and your feedback. That means this season, we're delaying the Frost rework to Season 3 so that we can focus on the priorities that you mentioned to us when we announced this initial roadmap. That means Grim will be getting a buff this season, as well as the observation blocker being moved up to this season, Season 2 as well.
Okay.
For Frost, we want to make sure that you can play the Lab TS this season with those changes. There will be a dedicated spot on our 6 Fix where you can give us feedback for Frost.
Fear is coming to Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm not talking about 20 seconds left on the clock, diffuser in hand. What do you do, Fear? I'm talking about this.
This is the new operator. What's on Napkin?
This is what it looks like when an attacker is caught in the radius of Fenrir's FNAT dread mines. Are you afraid yet? You should be.
Spooky.
Fenrir brings a whole new way to undermine the attacker's advances. One that's unlike anything we've seen yet in Siege. Next, you'll hear from concept artist Sunshine Kim about the design and creative
I
vision
just
of this
like
unique operator.
I like
Then
for
director
him
and
his
play designer
his
Jeremy
gun,
Clermont
dude.
and game designer Dominic Clement will elaborate on the features that make Fenrir someone to be feared.
Chat, listen, there's something very important about this new operator.
Fenrir is designed by, once again, our character concept artist NJ Chutai, who previously worked on Grimm. Fenrir looks dangerous, somewhat frightening, but it's not reckless or evil. Since he's a scientist and a trained soldier at the same time, we really wanted to capture those two elements in the video.
Yeah, we're doing
design.
it. We'll do the Gamers 8
like
after
urban
this
combat
too.
outfits for his general
So yeah,
aesthetics,
I'll be on
and
for
something
14
more
hours
advanced
today.
high-tech equipment that could be a focal point of his design. In this case, his neck color slash mask that gives him immunity to his own gadget. Keeping rest of the design more grounded, we allowed certain room for fantasy on his gadget that can really show the character he can belong both combat and lab environment at the same time.
So when our team started to work on Fenrir, we found interesting information about military scientists conducting researches around psychochemicals. They were looking for ways to fight enemies with cloud of gas that can impair the brain and send a subject into a state of delirium. So Fenrir's device is a diffuser of psychochemicals. When it's activated, the metallic casing opens.
Also,
When
thank you
it
to
detects the
Ubisoft for
presence
putting
of
drops on
hostile,
our
the
channel
gas
for
is
today.
sprayed.
Appreciate
When
that. So
opponents
we have
are under
drops
the
here.
influence of this chemical, their brain are affected, their perceptions are clouded, and their field of view are obstructed with hallucinations. Because
This
of
is
the
already
nature of this
leaked.
character,
Yeah,
we built
none
this
of the
scary-looking
footage
device.
right now for the
Fenrir works
full
with chemicals, so the
description
casing
is
corroded,
leaked at all.
making this
So that's just
curve
not
that
true.
became part of his identity. When it triggers, two glowing eyes are watching you while you are slowly sinking into the obscure universe of Fenrir.
So Fenrir joins Rainbow as the mastermind of the defense. He's a unique trap operator that can truly adapt and redirect his own utility to the ever-changing flow of a round. So Fenrir brings the FNAP mine. It's a throwable sticky gadget that can be.
I haven't
pretty
even
much
seen this
everywhere.
yet. This is like
Once
the
it's deployed and it's
full
activated,
reveal.
It can be triggered by an attacker that walks in its line of sight. Once it's triggered, the mine will release a toxin cloud. Everyone standing in it will be affected by the effect, which we call the fear effect. In short, the fear effect is essentially a curtain, an opaque bubble around you that limits your visibility range to a few meters. Past that, it's complete darkness. So when the round starts, Fenrir has all of his gadgets in his pocket. And when they're deployed, they're basically inert. They don't do anything, and they're armored. So they can't be destroyed by bullets. They can only be destroyed by explosives. Aside from being there and looking mean, they really don't do anything. That is until Fenrir activates them.
You have to activate these manually, chat. By the way, he has an MP7. That's what I like.
So he has less codes than actual gadgets, so he needs to be mindful of which one he's going to activate and which one he will remain armored. Because once they're activated, they open up and they're no longer bulletproof. So they're very vulnerable to bullets, lasers, and obviously explosives. Once they're open up, they mean business, and it means that it can be triggered by attackers and affect them. So when you play as Fenrir, your goal is to survive as long as possible. So we made sure to give him a kit that will hopefully allow you to do so. If we look at the primary weapons, you have two options. The first one is the
MP7, baby!
a classic, really powerful SMG.
Yes!
Close, mid, and even long range.
And the sausage.
So the second option is the SAS G12, which is a very strong, powerful shotgun that can deal a lot of damage in close range. Perfect to pair with the gadget, which
Silent sausage,
essentially
chat.
limits the visibility of the attackers, so you can really get close and personal with this weapon and deal a lot of damage.
This is the worst shotgun.
Secondary
Are you
weapon,
high?
The Bailiff. It's a great secondary weapon that creates a lot of destruction for a pistol. Whether you pick the SMG or the shotgun,
Bro, the
you should
sausage
have,
is sick.
A tool in your arsenal to
You can literally
reshape
throw
the
a
map
silencer on
and
thing and
set up
spam
your
it
gadget
like
the way
crazy.
you want. For secondary gadgets, we went for gadgets that will really synergize well with the operator's main ability. The first one is barbed wires. The FNAT will reduce the visibility, and the
Dude,
barbed
I
wire
can
will
basically
slow
play
them down.
Bandit while not being Bandit.
His other option in terms of secondary gadget is the bulletproof cam. Again, a great synergy with the gadgets because you can use the bulletproof cam to keep watchful eye on your FNAT, and you can also use the bulletproof EMPs to disable any pesky attacker drone that might be coming in to destroy your gadgets. So Fenrir is a very flexible operator. It can be very useful for new players as much as for very experienced players. For new players, if you don't want to deal with having to manage and jungle with all the codes, you can just deploy your gadgets, activate them, and play them like a regular trap operator. If you want to be a bit more advanced and kind of trick the attack, you can really juggle with the codes, activate your gadgets when they need to be activated, deactivate them to protect them, do this dance of the mastermind kind of controlling where the gadgets are most effective and affect as many attackers as you can. Keeping up with the synergy between the operators and the gadgets, you have a lot of synergies with other operators. So like Melusi in Clash can combine their slowdown effect with the FNAT. They'll have their visibility reduced and also they'll be slowed down, so they might be stuck in this effect a bit longer thanks to that. Combining it with
delete Clash, please.
Like Thorn means that you can kind of catch these attackers in their moment of panic and hopefully deal them a lot of damage with these gadgets.
Monty, yeah, I'm happy with this. Monty getting killed by Thorn makes me happy.
Is the intel gathering operators like Valkyrie, like Pulse, like Solis. They're all very useful operators that can really collect as much intel as they can and share this intel with Fenrir, so Fenrir can be more aware of which one of his gadget needs to be activated in order to be the most effective. Operators that can be a bit more sneaky could potentially get a bit closer to the victims and give them a good scare, like, well, Kavara. So if you have a Fenrir on the other team, you have a couple options in terms of counter. The first one is the classic combo of IQ.
I don't think it's that broken, honestly, but we'll see.
So Finka is another very interesting counter. She won't completely remove the effect, but with her nano boost,
granted,
she'll be able to kind of reduce the effectiveness of
I have
giving you more breathing room and more.
I have played the new season, but only for like a little bit. Like I only played like literally like I walked around Consulate basically, so yeah, I have limited usage.
And provide cover for the rest of the team to come in and destroy the FNAT that have been triggered. Since he has the shield, the visibility reduction is not the end of the world. He's still protected. And finally, you have Twitch and Zero that can be brought to hunt down all the activated FNAT and zap them with their lasers. We can't wait to see the strategies and kind of big brain plays that will come up with Fenrir. He's really an operator that can play with collecting information and removing information from the attackers. So we can't wait to see players run around, activating, deactivating their
nerf Ayana, hopefully soon, man.
Throughout the next season.
We've seen your excitement about the upcoming map rework for Consulate, and now we want to give you more details on the renovations.
I don't know why everyone hates the current Consulate. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think it needs a rework too, but
Jeremy Dowsett.
Yeah, I think like getting off Fenrir's Gadget is going to be like fairly difficult.
Consulate's one of our original maps. It's 8 years old. It was old technology. It needed to be brought up to a level that we expect from our maps. New destruction, new walls, everything's up to the new 2.0 standard. So we can actually iterate upon it and we can actually fix bugs and issues much easier. We've gone top floor all the way down and even out to the spawn points. This map is a very what we'd call a heavy rework. It's a massive overhaul of everything from the ground up, exterior in, everything's been touched. It's gonna feel the same, but there are a few surprises and a few tweaks. Everyone knew that there was a problem with Consulate with being spawn peaked or run out on quite a lot. So we've gone through and we've looked at all the lines of sites from the building to the spawns. And we've made
honestly, I'm just glad that people are not going to be sitting out here for 9 years.
And actually get into the building. What we've done is we've looked at all of the lines of sights, i.e. all of the windows, all of the doors, anything that looks towards the spawn. And in certain cases, we've actually either put a blocker on the window, say some scaffolding, or we've actually removed the window or blocked it permanently. So anyone that was used to looking out towards garage and getting a cheap
this is a big thing.
That angle's not there anymore. If you want to spawn peak, you're going to have to work an awful lot harder for it. There's a new set of stairs, yellow stairs, that go all the way up, which aids the navigation, and especially if you need to switch between floors. The biggest change that players will notice is the exterior wall on the balcony. So you can
I'm gonna run out of that balcony and spawn
actually
people.
Play with the ebb and flow of the attack and defense. You've got a chance to get in on the balcony now. A lot of things have changed on the first floor.
Ubi after every work, they said they make it rework it.
There's a new thing called exposition, which is actually a bomb.
Well, they
The
do,
exposition piano
but
is the bomb site on the first floor. Entrance lobbies changed. Spiral stairs, you're still going to recognize it. It's the same, but refreshed. A lot more cover and a lot more ways to actually approach the bomb site. It's less open. It plays much nicer than it did before. Everyone loves to hate Garage. The smoke plant was everything. Every time you watch this map get played in Pro League, when it was in Pro League or in Ranked, you know what's going to go down. They're going to plant behind the truck, they're going to smoke, and then they're just going to hold it all the way out on the exterior, and you're not going to be able to counter them. Now you actually have to enter through a new room to get into Garage to the bomb site to actually be able to plant. This means you can't hold it from the outside, so you have to enter the
this I
building.
like a lot
Same
because I'm
thing
so
if you're
sick of people
attacking
just
from
sitting
server
like
side.
out
There were
super
lots of
far out
lines
with
of sight,
Glaz or
and they would
BB.
hold on a really long angle. We've looked at the angles and we've cut them all
They,
down.
I wonder if I think they got rid of my car angle that I like though.
Places.
That makes me a
So
little
the
sad.
Garage changed with the
Simon Ivor.
entrance and the doorway through. There's a doorway to the side of it.
I
now
think
that
I
goes
think
to
you can
yellow
still
stairs.
probably peek through that car
It's
pretty
always
similarly
nerve-wracking
toward
for the
yellow.
team who did an exceptional job. It looks amazing. The artists were great. The lighting looks great. I think the players are going to love it. So like Nighthaven, you can't ban Consulate. We want the players to be able to experience the new,
Good.
the new navigation.
Learn the maps.
In Siege, all it takes is one bullet. And to help you make each bullet count, the shooting range is continuing to evolve. Associate Game Director Christopher Budgeon is here to tell you more about the new features, including a destructible surprise.
We've been very happy and pleased with the reception of the shooting range and our constant quality of life updates. Now, an Operation Dread Factor, our Shanghai team
You got your
is bringing
drop.
the largest update.
What's up, Mag?
The aiming
You
lane
don't wanna
allows
learn?
players to practice through play. Whether they want to customize the movement and speed of different targets from the shooting range, so you can test recoil and damage directly in an in-game situation. You can create customized setups if you want to adjust the speed, movement, or the distance options of different sets of targets. Now you can master your reticle
It's like
management
Aim Lab.
in a real life
NDA
situation,
lifted, yep.
but without having to leave the shooting range.
This is a really
What we
big
wanna
improvement,
do is allow
honestly.
players to get their hands on their favorite weapons and their customized loadout,
This is Aim Lab,
and
though,
put that
basically,
directly
but in
use so they
Siege.
can train and improve their skills in the shooting range. While we were really happy to bring the aiming lane for Season 2, we're actually bringing one extra thing as well. We're bringing a destructible wall into the damage lane. Destruction is really important in Siege, and so allowing players to test how much destruction a weapon will do versus the damage that it creates is a new variable that players can choose to determine their ultimate loadout. Practice creating rotations or making lines of sight, or even check what the damage fall off is when you're using your weapons through a soft wall. We're really happy to have destruction right there in the shooting range.
From golden guns to headshots only, arcade game modes are a fun way to flex your Siege skills. And in Operation Dread Factor,
Honestly, that's
we're
really
introducing
useful.
the permanent
I mean,
arcade
like,
playlist.
shooting range
For the full
is something
breakdown,
that's been needed in
let's
Siege
go
for
to
a
game
long
designer
time,
Robert
you
Cole.
know. Aim Lab was basically like the only way to really practice in Siege until this.
We are super excited to finally bring you the new permanent arcade playlist, and you can get your hands on it coming in Season 2. We wanted to give a place for players to actually play and enjoy all these arcade game modes that we've released throughout the years. But we also felt like all these game modes deserve a place to be permanent inside the game. And we will release with a list
Golden
of
Gun was
5
the
arcades.
best, yeah.
So now you will be able to, from the menu, jump directly into a queue for all these crazy and fun arcade game modes. Or you can even go to custom match and create your own lobbies with your own friends. We are releasing with arcades like
Oh,
Golden Gun,
dude,
in
we
which
could
your
do
only
sub
weapon is
games.
the Golden Desert Eagle.
Golden
Or
Gun
even
sub
headshot
games
mode,
and
a game
stuff.
mode in which the only way to kill your opponent is actually with a headshot. Or even snipers only, a game mode in which everyone is using Kali's sniper rifle.
I like the snipers only
We're
one
also
too.
moving TDM or Team Deathmatch back into the arcade playlist because we feel like it fits better in here. And if you were paying attention, I mentioned 5 arcade game modes. And that's because we're taking the chance to release a brand new arcade called Free For All, in which
Free for all, chat.
It's you versus everybody else. No teams, pure chaos. You will jump directly into a map versus 9 other people, and you will have to fight your way to victory. So now players will be able to warm up and have fun without restrictions in these alternative ways of playing Rainbow Six, without actually worrying whether or not they will be removed from the game. So yeah, have fun with your friends in this new arcade playlist.
A new gadget is coming in Operation Dread Factor.
Free for all someday.
During the 6th Invitational, and now it's time to see, or not see, what's up with the observation blocker. Technical designer Sergio.
Okay, so this is the new gadget.
Studio is here to teach you all about it and share a balancing update for Grim.
Intel gathering is one of the core pillars of the Siege experience.
So this is the Grim rework first.
By giving defenders more tools to deny information to
so wait, oh, they're doing the Grim after? Okay.
We're releasing this new secondary gadget, the observation blocker. This gadget, once deployed on the ground, creates a digital barrier that blocks vision through attackers' observation tools, forcing them to drone more aggressively and giving more opportunities to defenders to destroy those drones. Defenders choosing this secondary gadget will start with 3 on their pockets, so they will be able to cover large portions of the map. When it comes to synergies, the gadget can be used in combination with
you get 3 of these things?
Maestro or Melusi to hide valuable pieces of utility. For example, with Maestro, you're going to be able to hide your observation blocker and gather information and shoot with a camera without getting your gadget exposed to drones. It can also be used to defend strong positions. You could, for instance, place a deployable shield, a couple of ADSs on the wall, lay some traps, and hide the entire setup behind an observation blocker. Attackers won't know what threats are hidden behind this gadget, so they will have to either reach their drones, find a way to destroy the gadget, or pick themselves without enough information to win the gunfight. The gadget can be destroyed by bullets, explosions, or even be hacked by Brava, so defenders will have to find safe positions for it to be useful during the round. With the gadget in play, attackers will have to drone smarter and with more precision to gather the information they need to win the round.
This, if I'm like,
of this new secondary gadget will create new gameplay interactions.
It's like a one-way wall,
and will also give the defenders more flexibility when it comes to assembling.
And you get 3 of them. I don't know. This seems crazy. I honestly did not test this out.
We think the main reason is how hard it is to apply the effect onto the defenders. We want to buff him to make his gadget more reliable and impactful. And to do so, we will release 2 updates. The first one coming this season, and the second one later during the year.
I think it blocks the player's view up close.
Will be much faster. So as soon as the projectile sticks to a surface, the beast will be released shortly after. We are also increasing his area of effect, so the beast will stick to more defenders.
This is a pretty good buff for Grim, I think. So basically making it faster, wider effect.
He's going to be receiving the Bailiff as a secondary
weapon. Oh, there you go, Bailiff.
As a secondary gadget. These new tools of destruction will help him create new lines.
He'll honestly be an okay pick here. Okay. Because he has like a 1.5 sight on like the 5.52 is crazy. He can burn a lot of utility. And he has a Bailiff as a secondary and Hardbridge gadget. So
new controller layouts are coming. Associate producer Jane Gonchar from our Keep Studio has more.
As you may know, we want to level up
console
playing field for PC and console players. And new additional controller layouts are important stepping stones on the way to full controller customization. We have already several of them in the game, but the new one we are introducing...
they've added a lot of stuff for Siege.
Centered around tackling some difficulties that might cause discomfort for players when using the controller. Players who felt that some actions were taking a toll of their hands might find this feature is a way to increase comfort. Other players might find a way to play game differently. Working with current layouts already helped us shape the final vision for full controller remapping. We will continue to iterate on the feedback we gather to ensure that final product will meet the highest industry standard and provide our console players the best experience possible.
Next up, we've got a new feature coming to match replay. The free camera option will give you more flexibility over how you view and show off your replays. Creative director Alexander Karpazis is back with the full update.
Free camera for match replay is
free
coming to
camera
Siege,
chat,
and this is a new perspective of spectating matches. This breaks from the top-down view or the first
free cam. Varsity already knew about this.
Complete freedom to move around
Too
the map
soon, too
as
soon.
A camera to
too
inspect
soon.
Things that you never saw before.
No, honestly, free cam is sick though.
The goal of free cam is to provide players with the tools necessary to review their match, to review the strategy. No matter where you are, you have the freedom to move around that map and inspect those details that you missed before. This means that the next level of free cam in a future update will be an update to the HUD, so you can also hide it as well. This would be a fantastic tool for creating content. This means that you can set up the camera that you want, the capture and performance that you want.
Fun size Zach, thank you very much for the 8 months.
Video that you've always dreamed about creating inside of Siege. In Season 2, we're bringing a quality of life update too, for everybody who enjoys playing squads. We're providing squads the opportunity to vote when the squad's ready to jump into the next fight, and the squad leader will instantly be able to move them into the next matchmaking phase.
This I like,
after action report.
bro.
This isn't the only quality of life
Thank you,
improvement we're
dear
doing
Lord.
in this season. We spoke at the SI about interactions with gadgets and improving that, and we're delivering with the first step, which is the diffuser pickup, making it more generous and more
dig. No, it's not a dig. I was just like the whole situation where he got like copyright striked was like crazy.
Automatic pickup or a prompt to pick it up. The future means that we'll be bringing these improvements to other gadgets as well. And like we promised at SI,
I think I'm gonna put Autobahn pickup.
Putting down your gadget, picking it up, and even throwing it will be on the roadmap for future updates.
Thank God, man. It was annoying. I actually like auto pickup for the bomb.
Next week. Get a first look at Fenrir, his fear-inspiring gadget, and the reworked Consulate map. And remember, whether you're on the test server or in the live game, reporting issues you encounter to R6Fix will get you a chance to earn some extra rewards. That's all for our show today. Thanks for watching.
So, alright. So the new season is quick. New operators, Fenrir. Consulate rework. Tons of shooting range changes. Permanent arcade list. There's a new observer blocker gadget. Rimbruff. New elite skins, too. Seasonal event, balancing, updating, gadget. Oh. That server starts tomorrow, chat. Test server starts tomorrow. It actually looks like it's going to be a good season. So, I don't know. At least from a content perspective, there's a lot of good content coming there. So...